Hello there, welcome to RICO'S Garage. Today we've got a problem with the charging system on our Cummins swap crew cab. And many of you have benefited from the video I did on the standalone voltage regulator for the Chrysler / Cummins charging system. Link up here if you missed that video. Anyway, several of you have told me through the comments that you've both used it for your Cummins swap and in cases where your Chrysler vehicle is no longer charging due to a PCM issue. This has saved you money. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. That's one of the reasons I started this channel. However, a couple of you have reached out and are having the same problem this truck is having, and today I'm going to show you how to fix that. What's that problem, you ask? Well, we've got an overcharge situation. I'll fire this thing up and show you with the voltmeter what we got going on. Here you can see at rest our battery is at 1233, which is a tad low on the low side. It should be around 12.6. But however, we just pulled this truck in and we were cranking on it, doing some other stuff, so that's not horrible. We can live with that. Now when we fire it up, we want to see 13.5, 14. Let me show you what we got with this truck. As you can see by the reading on our voltmeter, our charging system's all over the place. We're high 14s, 15. When you're actually driving this truck, it can get as high as 16. That's going to cause some problems. We're going to burn the batteries up. The bulbs inside on the dash and everything else aren't going to take it. Even sitting in, the few times I've drove this truck, sitting around, once the electric fans hit, everything is just pulsing and it's not good. So let's step over to the whiteboard. I'll show you how we're going to fix this and why we're having this problem. Other than the third grade artwork, this is a basic diagram of what we got going on and what we're going to. Refer to the earlier video if you want to see a better diagram than this. This is literally something I just threw together. So we have the main components of our charging system: the battery, the voltage regulator, and 12-volt ignition, and our deceptively large alternator. We must be running a big stereo in this thing or something. At any rate, our original wiring was the big post of the alternator directly to the battery, the blue and green wires off of the Chrysler voltage regulator go to the field wires on the alternator, and then the blue one we teed off and went to 12-volt ignition using one of the factory ignition leads for the square body. The problem with doing that is the old wiring in this truck is creating a voltage drop to where the regulator is not seeing what actual battery voltage is. And since there's enough of a voltage drop, the regulator thinks it needs more charging, so it's putting more boost to it when the battery doesn't need it. So we're going to correct that with a simple 4-prong relay. Let's go back to the whiteboard and I'll show you. If you focus your attention down here, I've drawn in a basic 4-pin relay that you can get at any parts store. The relays are numbered 30, 87, 85, and 86. Really simple wiring here. 85 is going to go to a chassis ground. 86 is going to go to our 12-volt ignition. We are going to omit the blue wire where it teed off and go into the ignition. Instead, we're going to do away with this. That's why I dotted this line. Again, still teeing into the blue wire, we're going to run the blue wire directly to the 87 terminal in the relay, and then the 30 is going to go straight to the battery. What that's going to do is the relay is now going to carry the battery load. So when the 12-volt ignition comes on, it's going to pull in this relay and close it. What that's going to do is send battery voltage directly from our battery to our regulator. Nothing in between to have voltage drop. So the regulator is going to see actual battery voltage. All the ignition is going to do is open and close the relay. I'm going to leave this for a few seconds so you can study it. Then I'm going to show you on the truck how we're going to do it. Okay, here's my 4-pin relay that I was telling you about. I got it from the local O'Reilly's, but you can get it anywhere, any parts store, literally. It comes with a little mounting tab. All I'm going to do is mount that down to this fender, just like I have my other relays for like my cooling fans. So I got my cooling fans, fuel shut-off relays, and my relays for my grid heater. Anyway, mount that there. I will take the 12-volt ignition wire that's currently running out of this fuse box over to the regulator. We're going to run that. Scratch that. Okay, I've got put in this fuse block. This is 12-volt ignition hot. I'll just jumper one lead to the relay. The chassis ground on the fender well. The blue, which is on pin 30, is just going to go straight to the battery. The yellow in this case, which is post 87, is going to tie into the existing wire that's going over to the regulator. Relatively easy. I'll wire it up here real quick. Probably won't bore you with that through the video. We'll get this wired in and then we'll fire up the truck and see how we did. We've got everything wired up, a relay in place. Let's fire this thing up, hook the voltmeter to it, and see what we got. Right now our resting battery voltage is right where it should be, but when it was running we were holding steady. I mean, we had a little fluctuation. We were 14.7 to 14.8, but nowhere near the fluctuation like we had to begin with. So there you have it. It's hot rodding. It's project vehicles. Things don't always work right the first time, but a little bit of head scratching, some thinking, you'll figure it out. And if you can't figure it out, I'll help you along the way. That's what I do this channel for. Now that we have a constant power source to our regulator and we don't have the voltage drop and it actually sees true battery voltage, our charging system is dialed. My apologies for those of you that had this problem to begin with. To be honest with you, when I've done this in the past, this hasn't happened. This was the first time this has happened to me, but all it took was just a little bit of noodling on it and figured it out. And the least I could do is pass that along to you. So like this video if it helped you out. Share it if you know somebody else in this predicament. And drop a comment down below. I love hearing about your guys' stories and how my videos in this little tiny shop help you out along the way. Subscribe if you want more tech tips or follow our projects along the way. I got to get back to work. I still got plenty of other loose ends to tie up on this project and all the others in this shop. But until then, I'll see you later.